Hi guys, I'm Dr. Terry Silkman. I hope you guys have had a great week. It's Friday. I'll recap really quickly some of the stuff that we've talked with through the week, but what we wanted to do when we get into it today is talk about exercise. Now again, so you guys don't think I'm schizophrenic, I know in some of the videos, if you've been following them, we've talked about why you don't want to exercise and when you don't want to exercise. So, just to recap quickly for you, and you can find this on some of our other Facebook Lives through the week, but what we've found, and this may be new information to a lot of you, but what we've found is that when you're trying to lose excessive weight, so if you're 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds overweight, exercise is not your friend. Just like anything else that's going to stimulate inflammation in your body is not going to be useful to you to try to get weight off. Now, what happens once you get the weight off? What happens when you're down to maybe just 5 to 10 pounds of weight left? Well, that's where exercise starts to become useful to you. And so again, not to necessarily lead you astray or to help you believe something other than what I would expect you to believe, I'm a firm believer in exercise. It's just as easy to be skinny and unhealthy as it is to be fat and unhealthy. Well, or at least close to as easy to do that. So we're strong proponents and believers in exercise. In fact, since my athletic career, some of you know I'm fortunate enough to have played football at a Division I school and paid for some education. Since then, pretty much all of my life, I've tried to follow different exercise regimens. Some that work really well for lots of people at lots of different ages, but some that are really pretty specifically, I guess, comfortable and easy for me to incorporate. And the way I like to work out is, in general, I like to do a workout that's pretty intense, 40 to 60 minute workout. What I believe and what I found in most of the good programs that I've looked at is that if you're going to actually regain or gain in the process, you're usually going to have to devote more than 3 days a week. If you just want to maintain what you're doing, 3 day a week frequency, probably a 40 to 45 minute workout where you get your heart rate up to maximal level and keep it there, probably works. If you want to build and want to recover something, you're probably going to have to invest at least 4 days or so. So, what are the exercises that I like best? Well, I'll start with the one that makes everybody complain. In fact, you're probably going to complain about most of these, but the one that I really like to start with, or actually to finish with, because I want to make sure that I'm warmed up well, is pull-ups. Again, doesn't require a lot of specialized stuff. You can make a bar. I made one that fits in my garage. And it's the one that probably very few people as they move into middle age or beyond have the capacity to do. So if you're trying to do pull-ups and you can't do it, use a resistance band, hook it under one of your knees, keep your knee bent, and that'll at least help you get the process started. So lots of different variations. You can do them wide, you can do them narrow. Really, my best recommendation, which comes from a lot of other athletic trainers, is you start with the overhand grip, the one that's toughest to do, and you basically go till you limit out. And then I typically do a set that's underhand that kind of works like the curls. Try to get 2 to 3 sets in, even if you can only start with 1 to 2, build upon that. So that's exercise number 1, the pull-up. Number 2, the one that does the opposite muscle groups. First off, you're trying to pull, so the opposite side of it is you want to push. Well, push-up obviously does that. Again, lots of different variations. If you get really good at the flat-handed ones and you think that's too easy, well, then you can try the fingertip ones. And if the fingertip ones get too easy, next step in the process, put a chair there and stick your feet up on the chair. And then again, don't put your hands out in front of your shoulders. Keep your hands and your shoulders in the same plane so that you're working. And if that gets too easy, then put your feet up on the countertop. And you'll find that you will have a gradual increase in strength, and that by adapting to elevating the back portion of your body and keeping the front portion, keeping your hands and your shoulders in the same plane, you're going to find the burn is there. So that's kind of the upper body thing. So what do I do for abs? Well, the one exercise that I think causes more back injury and more problem than just about anything else that anybody does is the sit-ups and the crunches. So I don't do the sit-ups and the crunches. In fact, I kill my back when I do the sit-ups and the crunches based on some lower disc degeneration. I do planks. Again, technique for the plank. Your elbows and your shoulders should be in the same plane with each other, and your back should not ever arch. You should be either a straight back or just a slight bow, which is the same way you should do your push-ups. You should never let your back arch to do push-ups. You should never let your back arch to do planks. And again, what my exercise routine is to limit out on at least 2 to 3 sets. Once you get up to the 4.5 to 5 minute range, if you think that's not enough exercise or not enough time, and or you're not working your abs and your back out better, they make those little well, they're kind of like ankle weights, but you can strap them around your abdomen. Don't put them around your abdomen, but lay them up over your shoulders and increase your weight that way, and that's a great ab and lower back workout. So what do you do for your lower body? Well, there's 2 exercises that seem to work really well. One is lunges. Again, if you do the lunge correctly, you're keeping your back straight, you're keeping your hips underneath you, and your lunge is a foot straight out, comes down to a 90-degree angle, between your knee and your hip. And again, if you're having trouble getting enough work out there, then take those same weights that you put on your back when you did the planks and hold them in each hand, or a dumbbell in each hand, and you can increase that way. Last one is the squat. Again, an exercise that you have to be, probably of the 5 we've talked about, the most careful not to injure yourself or do it wrong. So if you're doing a correct squat, your back is always straight, your head is always up, you're coming down straight. Basically, you don't lean forward where your upper body is forward over your knees to speak of. You try to stay as vertical as you can with your back, and your knees should not extend forward past your ankles. If you need to cheat to do it that way, well then get one of those rollers that you can put behind your back and do it against the wall. Again, 3 sets of 15. If you're not getting enough workout just with your own body weight doing it that way, grab a couple of dumbbells, and that will help you. So I hope this is good, useful information. I hope through the week you guys have gotten really wonderful, useful stuff that you can use to improve your health. Just a quick recap. We talked about through the week what food groups you want to eliminate from your diet. Bread, sugar, dairy, artificial sweeteners. We talked about why supplementation is important, and again, just to recap that, if you take a look back at 1960 and you take a look to today, well, the healthy food that we say is the stuff that we should be eating today might even be called junk food back in the 1960s. For example, oranges have about 30% the vitamin C that they had in 1960 based on changes in farming techniques and a lot of other things we've used. Again, I won't recap too much. You guys can all get that information by going to either my Facebook profile, or for you guys in particular, you can join us on our private Facebook group at Six Pack Back Men. And for ladies, Chris has a specific ladies group that's Dump Your Rump Girls campaign. And we've got great recipes there. We've got the things that we do. If you're interested in looking further at the supplementation and the things we do, that's all there. And so I would leave you on this Friday wishing you to have a really wonderful, productive weekend, and posing a question for some of you who aren't doing these things. And again, you may have tried other programs, you may have found that they left you short or unfulfilled, but I guess I would say most of the stuff we have you can go get access for free, so why not? One of the questions I would pose to you is, what is the worst thing that's going to happen? If you go on our stuff and you don't like what's going on, again, it costs you nothing. Even if you go on our supplement package, if you decide you are interested in that, it's 100% money back guarantee if you're not happy. Just try the stuff, get healthy, get fit. Do not be that statistic, especially if you're one of the guys. We all live life. We all kind of think we're invincible. We all think all these things like heart disease, diabetes, back problems, all the things that happen when you let yourself go. Everybody thinks that's not going to happen to them. Well, I find all the time guys who have felt like they've made a commitment to the lady they love and to the children that they have, to be there, to help them, to be the provider and the mentor that they want to be. Well, sometimes that changes faster than you think, and I can't think of a more agonizing position to be in than being a provider, a husband, a father that can no longer fulfill those things. So I'm not trying to scare you. This is not Silkman doom and gloom. Life is really cool. I hope you guys, again, are getting some value from what we do. Feel free to friend us or join us. Feel free to share this with your friends. Guys, have a great Friday and hope you have a wonderful weekend.